I've grown to understand now is like the healer part is the most important.
Right. Because you ain't a good doctor without no healing.
You can't heal nobody. Then
exactly.
What are you?
You know what they are. You know, it's a name for exactly what they are.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it, but you know what they are.
Yeah, bro. So I respect the journey, the struggle to be able to get that title.
Right.
I respect that part, but then it's like I have one foot in over there, now I got the whole 2 feet over here now.
All right. First of all, before we even get started, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling amazing. I just got off an airplane to get here.
Word.
And was excited the whole time to come here and talk to you because I like the way in your approach to making topics like this, adding a little humor to it, making it fun because, you know, for our people,
right,
when it comes to health, we don't want to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
So I was excited about having a conversation with you so that we can make this not only funny, humorous, but also something people can get into to understand, like, when you take your health to the next level, you take your life, you take yourself to the next level too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, I guess some people feel like they so far behind in the get healthy situation, but it's like you can start changing your life at any moment.
Yep.
And a lot of people who in the position who have the knowledge, y'all have to let these people know that and gotta make them feel like they're not being left behind.
Yeah.
Like it can start at any moment, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, bro. Like, we gotta break generational curses.
Right.
Like, you know, we see healthy food, we say that's white folks food.
Right.
You see, you know, we see our grandmama had diabetes, our uncle had hypertension, this cousin died of cancer, it run in the family, so we just accept it. And I just think it's important that we get to a place where we make it unacceptable.
Right.
You know, because, you know, like, man, when I say like our people are different, we different. But just imagine who we would be if we were healthy. You know, when it comes to health, we at the bottom of the pole in every category. So that's all I want to see for our people, bro, is like us achieve what we know what we're capable of doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you put it right here in the book. So what we got right here?
Yeah, so my first book, I wrote this in 2018. I lived in Japan for like 5 years.
For real? You scared the hell out of them Japanese people then.
Actually, you know what's so crazy, dog? When I moved there, I didn't know what to expect. You got a black man moved to Japan, don't know how to speak Japanese.
What made you do that?
Well, so I told you, like, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was 16.
Okay.
Went on this healing journey once I was in the hospital here in Atlanta. Started healing people here, and I was like trying to do it in the hospital, but they wasn't with it. And so I had read this book called Ikigai. It means finding the purpose of life, and it's a Japanese book. And in there, they're talking about people in Okinawa, Japan, how they live to 100, and this is a small island where they have the largest amount of people who live to 100, and they primarily eat a plant-based diet. And so I had read the book, and out of the blue, I get an email, somebody saying, hey, we would like you to come to Japan and work. And I'm like thinking it's spam, so I just delete it, and they kept emailing me, and then a friend hit me. He was like, no, I referred them to you because you was talking about Japan. So I reached out to him, set it up. I ended up working there in a hospital for like almost 5 years, but I also did some research on the people there. It's a small community of people who live the lifestyle that really, like, my grandmother, my great-grandmother lived. And so that's what kind of led me to Japan. And so after being there for 5 years and then traveling for another 2 years and learning everything I learned in Africa.
What was the main thing you found out that made them live so long?
Man, so it's their whole lifestyle. Like, they have a principle called hara hachibu, which means eat to 80%. It means don't eat till you're damn full.
Okay.
So, and it's scientifically proven because when you get to 80%, your brain has a 20% lag time. So you don't even know that you're already full because the brain is behind. So they have principles like that. They eat primarily plants, you know, so I get to see what they eat. They drink a lot of herbal teas. They eat a lot of seaweed. And there's a lot of nutrients in the sea that we can't get from the soil today. So just watching their lifestyle in that way, but also the peacefulness of their lifestyle. That's one thing that when I was in Okinawa, I learned was, man, that was the first time I felt like I didn't have to feel like I was black. I was just a human being. And growing up in an environment.
That shit that peaceful, it'll make you forget you black.
Yeah.
Man, you think I'm just gonna, man, hell no. Ain't no way them folks that nice.
I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's different. It's different, bro. The expectation we have, because our interaction here with Asians is very different. And so when I go there, I'm expecting the interaction I get here, which is no interaction. And
Yeah,
when I go
there
there,
ain't a lot of Japanese people in America though, is it?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
I
not
thought
primarily here in the South.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we have a lot of
Not here in the
that
South.
type of Asian.
Yeah, you got to go to Buford Highway and places like that. But you go to cities like California and places in California, even Houston, Texas, Seattle, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I go there, and it shifted my whole entire perspective because, like, I remember, like, I started taking karate there.
Now that's racist as hell.
Well, I'm just saying.
You gonna go over there and take karate?
Bruh, is where karate originated.
Nah.
Mr. Miyagi.
Nah, shouldn't have asked.
You know how black people are. Like, we hear this is what this place is for. We go in there to find out what it's about.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, I'm going to Okinawa. Remember the Karate Kid?
Yeah.
The whole scene, the monsoon.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so I'm doing karate. So I take karate, and you know, they're looking at me, and I'm thinking like, they're like, this big black dude, what is he doing here? But they're marveling. They're like, damn, you black and you here. And it wasn't like you black and you here, it's like you different and you here. And I would always go to you ever seen a black person before? And they like, yeah.
You?
Yeah. But the cool thing was, it was never about the blackness. So that's what it was.
Now that you gone, they probably be telling people, we had a black guy here. No, real shit.
Nah, there's a picture of me there. So, you know, it's just a very unique experience, bro.
Yeah.
And to go there, have that real experience, and then come back here, that's partly what the first book is about, Vegetation Over Medication.
Yeah.
Was I realized that their lifestyle was my great-grandmother's lifestyle, which is from here in the South. Like, she lived on a farm. She got the food from the side of the house, the back of the house, and the front of the house. She got the herbal remedies from the back of the house, the side of the house, and the front of the house, like whenever we got sick. But my grandmother's lifestyle was very different. She had 11 kids. We had Crisco, we had Jimmy Dean, we had things like that. Very processed, unnatural food. And so it reminded me when I went there, like, my great-grandmother lived like they did. Okay, and my grandmother, who died at 67, she lived like we do today. My great-granny, she died at 105. So it showed me the differences between the lifestyles. So I wrote this book, Vegetation Over Medication, to really show people how plants are at the foundation of how we heal. And so that's what that book is about. And to break down a lot of the myths, lies, and truths around medicine and food, what we consider food, which really isn't food. So that's the first book, you know. And then, you know, as I'm like creating that, people wanted to know how I lost 45 pounds and normalized my blood pressure. So I did my own detox, and I was my first guinea pig. And so at first I wasn't even thinking of like making it a product, but I understood chemistry because I was a pharmacist and a chemist. And so when I started to look at the food and look at the labels, I started to look at the ingredients, and all the ingredients, start to look at them. They sound like chemistry. You can't even pronounce half of the words. Now, when I look at it, because I'm a chemistry major and a pharmacist, I know what they mean. I know that some of those ingredients are also in paint thinner. I know that some of those ingredients are aluminum. And I know a lot of these things we're feeding to our kids, and I know how they affect the body. So now I'm looking with a different eye now. I'm looking with the eye not only of a chemist, now I'm looking at the eye of a herbalist now too. And so now I'm realizing what I'm doing to myself. And so I said, now I gotta get this out of my body. How do you get things out of the body? Well, how did great-grandma get it out of the body?
Give me 2 tomatoes and head of lettuce and
Go out there and pull up that root. So yeah, that's how I created the detox, man. So get rid of parasites and yeast, because we have a lot of parasites and yeast in the belly. You know, back in the day they had this song called "The Freaks Come Out at Night."
Yeah.
That's what parasites and yeast do. That's why you get those sugar cravings at night. That's why you wake up at night. That's why you grind your teeth at night. And so a lot of us have parasites and yeast in our bodies, but we don't know it. But it's killing our health. So that's one part of the detox. And then the tummy detox, that's where all the, you know how people have that belly they trying to get rid of it, they just can't. I see people who work out, get skinny everywhere else, but the belly still stays.